Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome here to the Sports Talk Network, and welcome specifically here to Talking Packers with Steve. Another entertaining, interesting, exciting NFL week ahead of us, let alone the past weekend and past week that was for the NFL. Before we get started, as I always do, or at least now that I always do, wanted to promote the. If it'll come on here for me. Here we go. Who done spooked? We just had our riddle information battle tonight. But who done spook at who done spook? Follow them along, ring the bell, know when things continue. As the schedule usually goes, the next thing will be the case of being due Friday, 7 p.m. Central, which I like for once with a game. For a whodunit game, I'm finally part of a whodunit game where they go Central Time. So it's good to be in the Central Time zone. So anyways, that's how that will be moving forward. But as I always do, share that. And now we move forward talking football. But first, let's welcome our guest and fan of the Dallas Cowboys, Ross. Ross, how you doing this evening?
Doing really well. Thanks for having me.
Hey, good to have you. And co-host who also is a Dallas Cowboy fan, Becky. So here tonight's 2-against-1 as the Packers face off against Dallas. If people didn't know that already, this upcoming weekend, the battle in Dallas. But Becky, welcome.
Nah, people shouldn't know about it. You've only talked about it a couple of times, Steven. That's all.
I know, right? And if you're NFL fans, I think you kind of know what the schedule is. But yeah, I mean, a lot of great battles have happened in the past between the Cowboys and the Packers, to also include the playoffs, whether back in the 90s, Aikman versus Favre, or we get to somewhat most recent in regards to the catch, not a catch with Dez Bryant against Green Bay. So,
Don't get us started on that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, yeah, last time I checked, it wasn't a catch. So, anyways, moving forward, let's first, as I always do, go over in regards to the past week.
Ruling. It was a.
Oh, well. Anyways, week 4, Philadelphia Eagles defeating the Packers on Thursday Night Football, 34-27, a close game there. We have Washington losing to the Giants in New York, 24-3. I think it's time for Washington to change head coaches there. Chiefs over the Lions, 34-30. An hard-fought game, which the Lions did show me a lot in that matchup, as they were previously undefeated as well. The Titans over the Falcons, 24-10. Browns stomping a mud hole in the Ravens, 40-25 in Baltimore. The Raiders showing out 31-24 on the road win over Indianapolis. Buffalo showed the NFL fans a lot by keeping up and almost having a chance to win with their backup. Patriots over the Bills 16-10. Panthers over the Texans on the road 16-10 as well. LA defeating Miami, as pretty much everyone will be doing this season. 30-10 LA over Miami. The Buccaneers surprising everybody, not just by winning, but by keeping up with the high-powered offense that is the LA Rams, winning 55-40 and finishing that game off with a defensive touchdown by a former LA Ram in Ndamukong Suh. Seattle over Arizona, 27-10. Seattle getting the win on the road. We have the battle here in the mighty NFC North. The Vikings and the Bears. The Bears getting the win at home, 16-6 in that close battle, because with the NFC North being as mighty as it is because of the record-wise, it's going to be a fight to the finish for any from 4-1. Jacksonville over Denver. Denver losing again last second. Sorry, shout out to Caleb. But Jaguars getting the win 26-24. Minshew Mania is running wild in Jacksonville. And I think that will be continuing on and continue on so strongly that maybe Minshew may be the starting quarterback even when that guy does return. So Minshew Mania, all that stuff. It's awesome now. Hopefully he can keep that going. The Sunday night game, which had the Dallas Cowboys, the Saints over Dallas at home 12-10. Close battle there, but fumbles, turnovers as it is. Skewed over Dallas with the Saints and their backup quarterback defeating Dak Prescott, the starting quarterback, of Dallas there in that matchup. So congratulations to the New Orleans Saints. Monday Night Football with the Pittsburgh Steelers defeating and stopping them at home Cincinnati 27-3 with the Steelers win over the Bengals. And since here we have two Cowboy fans, let's talk first about your game last week, because, hey, both of our teams lost, so I'm not sitting any better in regards to win-loss from last week. But what do you guys each personally take away from that game in New Orleans? We'll start with our guest, Ross.
Yeah, I'm sure disappointed is the word that first comes to mind. I was a bit surprised that the offense struggled as much as it did. I mean, the Saints, they have a good defense. I wouldn't consider it great. And obviously the Superdome is a tough place to play. I mean, no matter how good the Saints are, but 10 points was really, really surprising. Obviously they had chances. Zeke fumbled at midfield. Jason Witten fumbled on this, I think, like on the 40-yard line of the Saints on a catch and run. So they had some drives, but 2 turnovers really, really killed them there. Defense played well, albeit against Teddy Bridgewater. Couldn't really stop the run game, and that was ultimately the difference. Just they got close, but not close enough.
Becky? Becky?
I'm not going to be a typical wussy fan that complains about the refs, but the refs definitely did not help. Those 2 fumbles actually did kill us, but we're always shooting ourselves in the foot some way, somehow, and managing to get it done. And unfortunately, I think New Orleans has shown the rest of the league a pretty good blueprint in beating us, which worries me greatly.
Yeah, when I was watching the game, it's national televised being Sunday night, and watching Dallas. Yeah, I think the turnovers being obviously, at least to me, bigger than even with regards to the referees. In a close game like that, especially when and where on the field in regards to field position these fumbles occurred, being even above bigger than just in general how big a turnover is, obviously. But
right.
I was actually kind of hoping that the Cowboys would win, not just because they should win. You're facing a backup quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, but also because they head into this game still being undefeated, still having something there. As much as being great, the Packers and the Cowboys to both be undefeated and have that battle in that way. But it's just, for it being both of our teams going down in regards to the Packer game, back and forth game. And then we decided to be like the Seahawks in the Super Bowl against New England and throw it. At least we got the 4 times, but throw it 4 times for 4 downs and again. And then the next time we get down there, you have the interception that ends the game. So, was unfortunate in regards to that's how the ball bounced in the interception, but still, we're on the goal line. Just run the dang ball. Our running back's good enough to get a couple yards that he needed. So, sort of thing. It is unfortunate. It is what it is. It's one of those, okay, you have Aaron Rodgers, so you decide just to throw it because it's Aaron. But, he still has to go up against that defense. As he has done all night. So it's just still somewhat confusing to me that Packers and LaFleur decided to go with the passes instead of going with runs on any of the downs. So that was our downfall, at least my team's downfall, their downfall in the game against Philadelphia. Philly getting the win. Win on the road, Doug Peterson staying undefeated, I guess, Thursday night games. And whatnot. So I lost at home. Now we move on, going on the road to Dallas. Another tough game. So back to back. Hopefully we can bounce back and get a win. Get a win there. Just want to check, Ross. Are you here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Just wanted to make sure.
I think my internet went out just for a quick second, so sorry about that.
It's all good. It happens. Excuse me.
Glad to be back.
Thanks.
But excuse me. Anyways, let's move on as we do here onto week 5. Starting off with the Thursday night game, LA Rams Seattle Seahawks divisional battle. Well, we'll start with Ross. Regards to predictions, you don't have to give a score, but prediction. How you see things going down in Seattle tomorrow night?
Yeah, so I really like Seattle in this game, actually. I mean, the Rams, I don't know what happened to them. I mean, they let Tampa Bay put up 55 points on the road. I think there was a defensive touchdown in there on both sides. You mentioned Ndamukong Suh, his fumble recovery. So it wasn't all the offense, but regardless, I mean, they just got absolutely crushed. Jameis threw for 4 touchdowns. He's been really, really bad to start the year. And obviously going into Seattle, it's the best home field advantage, I think, in the NFL. So on a short week, Seattle coming off of a good win against Arizona. I think it's a bad spot. I think it's a really bad spot for the Rams. So I like Seattle to take the win.
Becky?
I like the Rams. Everybody's entitled to a bad week. I think they bounce back.
And I'm going with Seattle. Excuse me, I'm going with Seattle as well. Seattle get the win over the Rams. Close game. Some high score. I go 24-21 with someone high scoring there. 24-21 Seattle over LA in that matchup. The next one, starting with Sunday games, noon games, we have the Jets facing the Eagles in Philadelphia. I think really the question I should just ask this group, this panel here, is anybody picking the Jets? Because I think Philadelphia should win pretty handily, but to each his own. Anybody think the Jets got a chance?
Unfortunately, no. As much as it'll pain Becky and I to say, take the Eagles to win.
Becky? Becky?
Now my internet's screwing up. I'll be back, boys.
Okay. All right, for me, I'm going to go with the Eagles as well. Eagles getting a big win over the Jets, like a 35-13 kind of win, getting the win there for that matchup. And we'll move along. We'll go to the next matchup. We'll go Jacksonville against Carolina. Their battle in Carolina. Ross, what's you seeing happening in Carolina?
And this was one of the 2 games where I really don't know. I really don't have an opinion. These 2 teams are so hard to pin down, starting with the quarterback play. I mean, Gardner Minshew is, I mean, he's the new a budding rookie star, I suppose, maybe a social media star more than an actual NFL star. But and then Kyle Allen filling for Cam Newton. I mean, I don't know much about either of them. I know both running backs for both teams are really good. There's some wide receiving play. Got DJ Moore for the Panthers. I think Chark for Jacksonville. I mean, a forced pick, I would just take the home team, but it's not a strong opinion in any way.
Okay. Becky first with Jets, Eagles, and then Jaguars, Panthers.
I mean, is it really a choice? Your starting quarterback has mono. Your running back has been I like the Eagles. And as far as Jags Panthers, I gotta go with your Jags, Steven. I mean, Minshew's got a great arm. You got Leonard Fournette. Oh, the Panthers are falling apart at the seams. The only bright spot they really have is McCaffrey. So I like your Jags.
Yeah, and I do as well. I'm going with the Jaguars over the Panthers. Some of the scoring game. See both defenses showing out. So like this a 16-3 final. You know, as much as Carolina looks like they're at the seams, they still have been winning their games since Cam went out. So maybe Kyle Allen is the answer in Carolina. Maybe the team feels more relaxed and able to have a more relaxed offense, at least with Kyle Allen at the helm than Cam Newton. Even if Cam's skills are higher, it's more of a set kind of offense with Kyle Allen than with what do we do with Cam because he has the other abilities sort of thing. And also, starting quarterbacks, their egos. All of them have it. So that's not a knock to Cam. It's just, it's a difference with Cam Newton and Kyle Allen, where Kyle Allen is just like, hey, happy to be in the spot, do what I need to do. So it's more like a relaxed for both sides than with Cam Newton, So, anyways, I'm still going with Jacksonville. Jacksonville getting the win there, as I said, with my score there. Moving right along, the Vikings versus the Giants. This one's actually going to be a pretty good matchup. In New York, we'll start with Becky this time. What do you see happening there with the Vikings facing the Giants?
I think it's going to be close, but I like Minnesota. The rookie quarterback for New York, Daniel Jones, he's still kind of going through his maturing process, let's say, and it's pretty much been a trial by fire, but I don't think Minnesota is going to let up on him. I think the defense is going to be relentless, and I'll predict at least 2 sacks. So, like I said, I've got Minnesota.
Ross?
Yeah, this is another one of my likes. I like Minnesota as well. Daniel Jones, I kind of think he's a little overrated right now. I mean, he's had the comeback win against Tampa when he was down 3 possessions, and then he just beat up on a Washington team at home that is just in complete disarray. Like, Washington might be the second worst team in the NFL, with Miami being clearly the worst team. But, I mean, Washington is just they're so bad. And Daniel Jones, he fumbled against Dallas when he came in. He fumbled twice against Tampa. He threw 2 picks against Washington. There's legitimate concerns with Daniel Jones right now, and I don't think the public, at least, is looking at that correctly. And then regarding Minnesota, I mean, the score didn't really show it. I think it was like 16-3 Minnesota against the Bears last week, but they got embarrassed. Kirk Cousins had to apologize to Adam Thielen for not throwing him the football. So I think on the road, you're going to see a good Kirk Cousins performance, and I think the Vikings roll.
Well, for the benefit of the Minnesota Vikings, paying Kirk Cousins what they did, they're thinking that he better show up in this game. I guess the Giants defense that isn't the best in regards to not just ranking wise, but just seeing it with your eyeballs. As some of the pundits say, the eyeball test. Watching it, the Giants defense is not alive. Maybe facing Washington, you can look like you're the Patriots or Bears defense, but you're not. So, the Washington team is a mess, as you guys both said. But with the Vikings in regards to Kirk Cousins and his response to Adam Thielen, I think that's what he kind of had to do, or at least in my opinion, had to do, because Adam Thielen kind of calling his quarterback out, or actually just doing that in that interview or stuff. So with that, that was the appropriate response. They're going to come back, bounce back, probably get the win here. I do see it a closer game. I do, as much as I talk about with the Minshew Mini and stuff in Jacksonville, but here, with Daniels there, or with him, with the Giants, I think he may be a little bit overrated, but I do see something in him. And especially with the way he carries himself, it does remind me of a younger Eli Manning in regards to that. That's why maybe they saw him as a great fit. And that's why they went with him, right? As their owner keeps saying, we saw something in him. I mean, it's.
Oh, does that mean he's going to complain about where he's playing and be like, I don't want to play, trade me?
That's yet to be seen. But as of right now, I think he has all the entitlements to be a dang good starting quarterback. So at least for me, from the outside looking in regards to the New York Giants, their future can be bright with Daniel Jones there. So, but anyways, I'm still going to Vikings. My prediction is Vikings over Giants, which is a Packer fan might hurt a little bit, but it is what it is. 13-3, close game. But I have Minnesota over New York there. Next matchup is a battle of two teams that I thought were going to be better, thought were going to be something, but they're almost nothing. Beyond Washington and Miami, we have the Atlanta Falcons facing the Houston Texans in Houston. The battle of those two franchises, I guess you can call them. But we'll start with Becky. What do you see happening in Houston with these two? Because hey, someone's got to win.
Knowing these two teams, it'll probably end in a tie, but I'll go with Atlanta. Just Honestly, I really don't know why. I don't like Houston, and it's not because I'm a Dallas fan. I don't like the look of them this year. Their only bright spot is J.J. Watt, and how bright has he really been? So I've got Atlanta.
All right, Ross.
A bit of disagreement. I quite like Houston in this spot. It's more of an indictment, I would say, on Atlanta more than a love of Houston. But Atlanta's again in a bad spot. I saw this stat last week going into Atlanta's game against Tennessee. In their last 12 games against AFC opponents, they were 0-12 straight up, and now that's 0-13 after losing to the Titans. So the reasoning behind that is they think that it's about the coach Quinn and how it could be like part of a game plan problem. And so facing another AFC team, Houston, coming off of a loss that Deshaun Watson he took personally, and so I think he'll come back and have a better performance. They're losing one of their wide receivers, Kenny Still, so that might hurt the offense a little bit. But at home, I like Houston to win this game.
I'm going with Houston just the mere fact that they're the home team, giving them the home field advantage. So I'm going Houston over Atlanta, 13-3. There in that matchup. The next one, which is actually a game of the week contender, at least for me, that we'll do at the end of this. But Tampa Bay facing New Orleans in New Orleans. I'll let Ross go first here. How do you see that matchup going there in New Orleans?
I'll lean to the Saints. Not a strong prediction, but the defense of the Saints really impressed me against Dallas. And now they have all sorts of momentum going for them because now they're 2-0 without Drew Brees. And they're thinking, man, if we can kind of keep this going, if we can play 500 ball for the next couple of games, then we get Brees back after bye, like they're going to contend for a playoff spot. And so home game against an inconsistent Winston. Sure, why not? Let's go with the Saints.
Becky?
I like the Saints basically for all of Ross's reasons. That, and I will never root for a Seminole.
Understood. I'm going with the New Orleans Saints, even though, like I said, Buccaneers is showing me not just with the score they did, but keeping up with the Rams, because the Rams and their styles and their defense, having former Green Bay Packer Clay Matthews on the roster. They're keeping up with them and then defeating them with a defensive touchdown. But I'm going to go with the Saints over the Buccaneers, 35-23. They're in that battle in New Orleans. Battle of one team that's improving and one team that is hot and cold. We have the Buffalo Bills facing off against the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. Like I said, Buffalo has shown me a lot in regards to being undefeated previously, then having a chance to beat New England, if only they did have their starting quarterback still in the game. They didn't, so that was unfortunate for them. Otherwise, I think they could have defeated New England, and that would have been their showing up moment for sure. They're staying undefeated and defeating New England, having the top spot in that division, but that is not the case, obviously. But Becky, in Tennessee, how do you see things going for Buffalo in that game?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yep.
I like the Bills. They impressed me with what they did against New England. Again, I've said this more than once. I am a Titans fan. I love the Titans. Lived in Tennessee for 2 years, but I'm not liking this roller coaster ride. I mean, I love Derrick Henry, Mariota, the whole crew. But like I said, Buffalo's really shown me something, so I'm going Buffalo.
I'm going Buffalo as well. Buffalo over Tennessee. Buffalo over Tennessee, 16-10. Final there, getting the win on the road. Next matchup, a battle of struggling teams.
Wait.
To say that way. Arizona Cardinals.
Did Ross not give his pick?
Oh, sorry. Ross, Titans, Bills.
It's not the most exciting game. I don't blame you for skipping over it. I'll lean to the Bills. Assuming Josh Allen plays, he left last game with a concussion, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like he'll play. I think Josh Allen's a better quarterback than Marcus Mariota. Um, I think the Bills have a better coaching staff. I really like Josh Allen. I think more than the public does. So I'll go with the Bills.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to skip over. I was just in regards to focusing in regards to this games, and especially the next game, which really doesn't need too much focus because, like I said, the battle of struggling teams, maybe one more than the other. Arizona Cardinals traveling to Cincinnati to face the somewhat hapless Bengals, or maybe hopeful Bengals. But we got Arizona against Cincinnati, and that matchup, excuse me, there. Shout out to Brian. But Bengals facing against Arizona. We'll start with Ross. How do you see this game going in Cincinnati?
I'll lean to Arizona here. I think there's just like no motivation on Cincinnati's side. They just lost Joe Ross for the foreseeable future. AJ Green is still out. They got crushed on Monday Night Football, and I think the Cardinals they're still kind of hopeful. Like they know they're not going to like probably make the playoffs, but they've got a young quarterback. He'll improve each week, and so I will take Arizona to get their first win of the season.
All right, Becky.
I've got the Cards. Like basically all of Ross's points. Cincinnati has been decimated. They're basically just waiting for the draft. So, like I said, I've got the Cards.
But who's waiting for the draft more, Cincinnati or Miami?
Miami.
Miami.
There we go. I knew there was someone more than Cincinnati. But anyways, I'm going with the Cards as well to get that win. At least for one game, show that awesome special offense that they have. You know, get to use Cincinnati in that way, I guess. But I do have Arizona over Cincinnati, 32-10 in that matchup there. And as we march right along, we got the game that Billy does not need to watch because New England against Washington may be a game he doesn't need to watch, or
he's gonna win anyway.
But we have Patriots against Washington team in Washington. I guess like I talked about with the Jets-Eagles game, anybody think Washington has a chance to win, let alone have a chance to make it close?
I'm worried about it.
Much of a chance. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Ross.
I'm just wondering if Washington's going to score a point. That's my only concern. I think New England just beats them down. I hope Washington can get on the board just so they don't get totally embarrassed. But maybe 40-3 is fine.
Becky?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Washington has about as much chance of winning as, I don't know, let me pull a name out of my butt. Ric Flair coming back to wrestling. Oh, Vince Lombardi coming back from the dead. Let's pick an analogy here.
I don't know. Flair's closer in regards to wrestling. You see what happened on Raw. But anyways.
Yeah, I know.
But I know what you mean. I get it. But, Miami, they didn't score a point against Baltimore Roadhouse for most of the games. That was 55-0 against Baltimore. Will New England do 55 on Washington? No. I have 48-0 New England over Washington. And then we'll find out hours later, if not minutes later, Snyder fires Gruden. So that's what I see happening in regards to Washington and trying to shake things up. But if Washington really wants to shake things up, they need to renew Snyder than removing just Gruden.
And then minutes after that, John Gruden hires his brother in Oakland because Mark Davis is an idiot and likes to spend money.
And he sees the headlines of the Gruden brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Sorry, Janet, love you.
No, you never ever know there. I'm moving right along. We got the Baltimore Ravens, which I was just talking about in regards to blowout games from week 1 against Miami. But this one facing up against Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh there. I'll let Becky go first here. Ravens against Steelers. Steelers still at their backup because you're going to have their backup for the whole rest of the year. How do you see this one going in Pittsburgh?
I I mean, with divisional rivals, you throw the records out the window and all that stuff. There's always been a heated rivalry with Baltimore and Pittsburgh, basically any division rivals. So I I like Lamar Jackson. I don't know why, but I've got Baltimore.
Ross?
Yep, I strongly into Baltimore here. I kind of think Mason Rudolph is a little bit like Daniel Jones in the fact that, I mean, he played really well on Monday Night Football, but again, it was against the Cincinnati Bengals, and we just kind of said some not nice things about them just a few minutes ago. So I don't know how much of his performance is inflated by the terrible Cincinnati team. James Conner, the running back, he's got an ankle injury. He's uncertain to play. And if James Conner doesn't play, I mean, Baltimore can just triple team Juju Smith-Schuster and they won't have an offense to work with. I like Lamar Jackson a lot as well, especially early on in the season when he's not taking big hits as frequently, and then it's not wearing on his body. So yeah, agreement. I like Baltimore.
I'm going with Baltimore as well. Shout out to my friend Kyron that I talked to in regards to the wrestling side of things.
Yep.
On Twitter at SplashBro, Kyron. But Kyron Chase, his team. I see the Ravens getting the win here, and I see the Ravens getting the win in a big amount in regards to at least the spread, in regards to the final score, because my final score is Baltimore Ravens 42, Pittsburgh Steelers a whopping 3 points. So there you go, Pittsburgh. As we said kind of last week or the week before, you get those points for showing up. So there you go. Moving right along, this battle could be either one of two ways. It can either be a blowout or it could be a close game with a field goal finish. And that's the Chicago Bears versus the Oakland Raiders in Oakland. They're in that matchup in battle. And we'll go with Ross first. How do you see this game going in Oakland?
This is actually in London. It's a London game. Oakland's just designated as a home team.
It's first London game. All right, London.
So this is probably my strongest pick of the week out of the non-blowout games. I really like Chicago here because I'm not a Mitch Trubisky guy, and he's projected to miss this game. But I really don't think Chase Daniel is all that much of a downgrade from Trubisky. And then, I mean, Oakland is just, I mean, they're in disarray as well. They're losing Vontaze Burfict for the year, which, I mean, he deserved to get suspended for the year, I believe.
It's for the year.
Yep.
I mean, he is appealing it, but it'll probably stand.
I don't see any way that gets reduced in any way. But I was watching SportsCenter today, and Derek Carr was like talking about it still, and I think that's a bit of a distraction. I mean, I'm not an Oakland guy at all. I'm not really a John Gruden guy. And then this is a revenge game again for Khalil Mack and the Chicago Bears defense. I mean, they were all over Minnesota last week. Playing in London, I don't know how many times they've done it before. I think Oakland's done it once or twice. Maybe one of you can fill me in on that. But Chicago's defense looked phenomenal last week, and I don't see any reason why that won't continue in London. So yeah, I like the Bears a ton.
Becky?
I don't know if Oakland has ever played in London. I know they've played in Mexico City.
Good point. Yes.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that the location change is going to matter that much, except for, yes, it's going to be either an 8-hour flight or a 12-hour flight, depending on which team. I think you're spot on in your analysis, Ross. I think Khalil Mack is going to put Derek Carr on his butt multiple times during this game and looking up the owner's box saying, "Oh, you should pay me, huh?" Bears big.
As we always say, or even in regards to whodunit sometimes, with Google being your best friend when trying to solve cases. Well, here in regards to Raiders, I use Google. And it was just last season when they faced the Seattle Seahawks in London. So it seems like they've been to London plenty of times. So either way, I'm going with Chicago, whether it's going to be in Oakland or is it actually going to be in London. If London won a team, and if the Raiders wanted to spend more money or save money, go become the London Raiders instead of Las Vegas Raiders, because it seems like you go there enough time in regards to London games, as I've seen now, looking it up, how many times they've been in London, just like Jacksonville's been in London a lot, the Jaguars, so London games. But I'm going Bears over Raiders, and I'm going Bears over Raiders 26-13. They're the final in London.
NFL Europe didn't work. I don't think NFL football. I mean, it's popular over there, but London's already had a team. It didn't work the first time. I don't think they'll be able to do it again.
Time difference. You have an NFL team there. Then you have teams that have to come there. How do you schedule them? Do they get all that stuff is just
Like I said, they've already done it with NFL Europe, so.
All right. Moving right along to a divisional game, to an actual divisional game. The Broncos facing the Chargers. Denver at LA to face the Chargers. We'll start with Ross. How do you see that divisional matchup going in LA?
Yeah, I can really only pick the Chargers here. I mean, the Broncos, I was on the Broncos in my Pick'em League, both of their home games, and it followed the exact same script that Joe Flacco would lead them down to 2-minute drill. Well, not really a 2-minute drill, but he would lead them. They'd take the lead, and then the other team would come back and hit a game-winning field goal. Bradley Chubb, one of their star defensive rushers, tore his ACL, I think it was, so he's out for the year.
Yep.
There's just no way I can pick Denver, so I will pick the Chargers.
I'm going with LA all the way. I'm going with the Chargers over the Broncos. But this one not being close, or not being too close, 24-7. LA over Denver, I was trying to think there. 24-7 LA over Denver there in that matchup. The final game, or at least the final game in regards to afternoon games. As I see, there are only 2 afternoon games. The rest of the games that I did speak of are actually noon games. And the other one being Green Bay against Dallas. Packers against the Cowboys in Dallas. We've got
I like the Bolts, by the way.
Huh?
I like the Bolts, by the way. Just to let you know.
Thank you. Sorry. Man, I just look forward to the next game. Sorry, Becky.
No, you're fine.
At least I did it to both and not just one. Anyways. No, sorry about that. But yeah, I guess to our personal game of the week, Packers and Cowboys. It could be a revenge game for Randall Cobb, former Green Bay Packer, now Dallas Cowboy. We got Marquez Scatland could be number 1 receiver in Green Bay regards to if Adams is not going to be able to play. Signs are pointing in that direction. He'll be out for the game. So with the matchups with the quarterbacks, you have Aaron versus Dak. Dak with something to prove. Aaron, continuing to be Aaron. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game goes, and if Dak can prove he deserves the money he's asking for, because if he loses to the Packers, if he is the reason they lose, because he really wasn't the reason they lost specifically to New Orleans. I mean, I'll let you guys speak on that, but he still faced finally a good defense, and in the end, his team lost. So facing another good team in the Green Bay Packers, and at home this time, and you lose. I don't know, Dak. Maybe there's a reason why most outside of Cowboy Nation feel you're not a top tier quarterback. So, but since I am outvoted in regards to 2 Cowboys versus 1 Packer, I'm gonna go first in my pick here. Yes, I am going with my team over Dallas to get the win on the road, because Aaron thrives in Dallas. Getting his wins most of the time he does go to Jerry's World. So I see him doing that again and getting the win here. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers over the Dallas Cowboys, 35-20. Green Bay over Dallas with a score of that, but we'll let Becky go first here. What say you for your team and how you see this game going down?
I'm going to pick the Cowboys. No surprise there. Honestly, though, I think it's going to be the team who has the ball last.
You
I
stole the word right out of my pick. I was going to say the same thing.
sorry, man,
No, we think
but
alike.
oh yeah. I think it's going to be a battle of attrition. If the refs don't screw us, I think it's going to be closer than Steven thinks. I would think more 27-24.
All right. And go ahead, Ross.
Yeah, I will. I will lean slightly to Dallas for the reason that, like, when I have nightmares, Aaron Rodgers plays the antagonist. Like, he's so good, and every single time he plays the Cowboys, I back to the 2014 game in Green Bay, and then the 2016 game in Dallas when the Cowboys were 13-3. Dallas had that game at multiple points, and Aaron Rodgers, he makes that throw to Jared Cook on the sideline. He holds onto the football after getting hit by Jeff Heath. He's so good. I respect him so much, but he's so good, and he's so good against Dallas that I'm hesitant. But as Steven mentioned, that Devontae Adams is likely not going to play. That's a really big deal.
Yeah.
For Dallas, Michael Gallup might be coming back. He's 2 to 4 weeks after having meniscus surgery. So I don't know how effective he'll be, but
No way he's 100%.
oh yeah, exactly. I was surprised to see the news that he might be coming back. I would have thought it would be next week.
Yeah.
Green Bay's got a good running back, Aaron Jones. He's going to get most of the work now after Jamal Williams had that scary injury. Jones is a tier down from Kamara. Kamara crushed Dallas Sunday night, so I'm a bit worried about the running game, because if Green Bay gets the running game going, it's going to be a really long day for the Dallas defense. But I think Dak always plays better at home, so that gives me some comfort. So I will lean to Dallas cautiously.
Now, as we talked, obviously we're talking a little bit deeper in regards to this game because our teams are in it, obviously. Mm-hmm. So to ask you, because I shared my thoughts on Dak and where I see him on the rankings, so to speak, of quarterbacks, and to me, I don't see him as a top tier quarterback. But you guys, as Cowboy fans, I want to get your guys' opinion and not just share my own. But I'll throw it to both of you. How do you see Dak in regards to NFL quarterbacks? Do you see him top tier? Do you see he deserves the money that he's asking for? Do you think he only deserves the money because that's all they got? Like, what are your opinions on Dak Prescott as your starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys? We'll start with Ross.
I mean, I really like Dak. Like we know what he is. He's not Drew Brees. He's not Brady. He's not Rodgers. But he's a really solid quarterback. And if he's put in the right situations, I think Dallas is kind of built around him and Elliott. They've got a great defense now. They got him a number one wide receiver, which I think was really, really critical after Dez Bryant and him. They never really clicked in 2016. And I think Cooper and Dak are a great fit. If he's going to get $30 million next year and that type of contract, I'm nervous about it. I can understand why he'd get that money because, quarterbacks don't grow on trees, and Dak is a solid quarterback. I have a Prescott jersey, so I'm confident he's going to be a Cowboy for a little while longer. But I wouldn't hate the move. I'm not thrilled about it. Like, if they get Dak for mid 20 millions, that's a great contract. But 30, I'm a bit nervous about that type of money and what it could do to the rest of the roster.
Becky?
I want to say he's top of the second tier. He's, like we've said before, he's not a Brady. He's not a Breeze. He's not a Rodgers. But he is good at what he does. He's starting to learn how to act under pressure. You've noticed that he's working on his footwork. He's trying to get out of situations so he doesn't land on the turf as often as he did last year. $30 million is a little rich. Even if we could get him mid-20s, low 20s, I think that would be great. And I don't think it would create as much team animosity as it would if they gave him the 30 that he's asking for. Don't get me wrong, every athlete supposedly knows their worth, but he's not a $30 million quarterback. No way. Just because I'm a Dallas fan doesn't mean I'm delusional.
Understood. I respect that. Because, for all fan bases do. I was going to just say here in Green Bay, but all fan bases have their small amount. They do have their fans that are going to always just 100% go with whatever the franchise does, and those are one that think rationally and have their own opinion in regards to whether players or things being decisions made for the franchise. But I just wanted to ask that to you guys, because I know I brought up my thoughts on it from outside looking in. Get your guys' thoughts actually in there as Dallas Cowboy fans. But let's move right along to the Sunday Night Football game, another game of the week, contender, at least for me, for picking game of the week. But Colts, Chiefs in Kansas City. We'll start with Becky. What's happening there in KC?
Indy has really shown me something as far as resilience, and they're not going to be a playoff team, I don't think. But I do think they're going to be nipping at playoff teams' heels. I think the Chiefs are going to give them a run for their money, and I like the Chiefs to win this game, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than maybe even Vegas or the other gamblers think.
Ross?
Yeah, I agree with what most of Becky said. I mean, I've been picking against the Colts in my pick'em pool, and I've been losing quite at least to start the year, because they keep winning. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's been really good. I mean, they're getting T.Y. Hilton back this week, but I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs they're just a different animal. And in Kansas City, I can't pick. I'll pick against them this time with a bit more confidence. So give me the Chiefs.
Something showed me in regards to the game against Detroit, more so the Lions and the Chiefs. But when I take out from that game is Kansas City probably in the end should have. Now, that being what it is, we should have lost the game. I think Detroit had a better chance. As much as was talking about Detroit should have lost week 1. Arizona should have got that interception, kicked the field goal in overtime to win. But that is what it is. But I'm going with the Chiefs over the Colts. I still see the Chiefs beating Indianapolis. Indianapolis in its own right showed me something. Jacoby Brissett, as I even said when he was thrust into the position of starting quarterback with Andrew Luck retiring out of nowhere. That was a surprise. Yeah. And with that being thrust upon his shoulders, has done pretty dang well, and I thought he would. But did I think he was going to take Indianapolis to a playoff or to the Super Bowl? No. But I did see him doing well in Indianapolis, and as I predicted for the record, to at least be close in regards to getting the division title and then being in the playoffs. But specifically for this game here for this week in week 5, Sunday Night Football, NBC, I have Chiefs over the Colts, 35-23 in that matchup there. And finally, the Monday Night Football game that at least Browns fans are looking forward to. We have the Cleveland Browns facing off against the still undefeated, because they had a bye week last week, San Francisco 49ers. Though the 49ers continue to stay unbeaten, the Browns continue their somewhat trajectory of being back on their projection of being awesome this season. But we'll start with Ross. See going down in San Francisco.
Yeah, this is the last of my strong feelings. I like the Niners. Coming off of a bye week, they're getting the maximum, close to the maximum amount of rest you can have. They haven't played a game in almost 2 weeks, and while early season buys aren't the most useful, I mean, they're still coming off a bye. It's still really helpful. I'm a Jimmy G guy. I really like Garoppolo, and I'm also really down on Cleveland. I was down on them to start the year, and obviously they had a really good game, impressive win against Baltimore. Nick Chubb scoring 3 touchdowns. I'm not really a Baker guy yet. I really like the 49ers at home. off the bye, so I'll take San Fran.
Becky?
I like the Niners. Jimmy G is a hell of a lot better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. That and being in the Patriots system, Jimmy knows how to handle expectations. Seeing as he was being groomed to be the heir apparent of Tom Brady. I think the Niners stay undefeated.
Same here. I'm going with the 49ers over Cleveland. Getting the win, continuing to be undefeated. Cleveland, they had a one game winning streak there, getting a good win in a divisional matchup against Baltimore and being tied, with them now in the division. But I'm going with Cleveland to bounce back in a negative way. I'm getting a loss in San Francisco. 49ers over Cleveland, 20-13. Being the final score there. And as you guys are expecting, it's doing game of the week, and I'll let you guys pick first. The rule is that you can't pick your own team's game, but since we're playing each other anyways, that it, crosses out for both of us, or all three of us there. But for you, beyond our own matchup, Packers-Cowboys, what say you both for game of the week? We'll start with Ross.
I'm going to go back to Houston, Atlanta. I think in a dome, two good quarterbacks. I think a lot of points could be scored in that game. I really like DeAndre Hopkins to finally break out. He's been a bit quiet to start the season. Him and Julio, that's going to be a great a battle. Ryan versus Watson. I'm really looking forward to that game. So I will pick Houston, Atlanta.
Becky?
I actually like San Francisco, Cleveland. I think Cleveland has the start of being a good team. It's like building a house. They have the frame, but they don't have they don't have everything else yet. They have the structure of being a good team, but they're just not there yet. And I think San Francisco is going to give them all they can handle. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. And yeah, that's my game of the week.
Well, great minds do think alike. For
Oh,
me,
dear Lord.
my game of the week, I guess. I do have Cleveland, San Francisco. I mean, I could have changed and went downstairs to get the other helmets, but this one being the game of the week. My second one that I was looking at that was in the finals to make the cut was Tampa Bay New Orleans game. Because I really think that game can show up and show out in its own right. But here, with the still undefeated 49ers, which I did pick as well to win the game, but this matchup being as looked forward to by most around the country, for me is my game of the week there for me personally. But anyways, thanks to those watching. I saw a couple of people pop in, one or two at least, popping in while we were live. And those that might be watching archive, welcome to leave your predictions or any other thoughts you have, or trying to get anything else we did say here in this episode in the comment section below. I'll let my co-host and my guest promote what they want to promote, Twitter handle or otherwise. But we'll start with our guest, Ross.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This has been fun. My Twitter account is at Ross Schinberg. You can follow me there and for all my Nationals ramblings for the next couple days.
Becky?
Parker Lady 718 is my Twitter handle. ROTC Brat 718 is my Instagram. I'm also a moderator for Marty the Moth South. Actually saw him in San Diego while he was at TwitchCon, so that was fun. If you want to come by, say hello. He's actually a really cool guy once you get to know him. Ross, come back anytime, dude. Great to have you. Great to actually have some leverage on this guy. So thanks again, Ross.
Yeah, it was fun to talk about something other than fictitious murders in a Twitter game for once.
I'm kidding.
Indeed. And well, that kind of transitions me there to only again regards to Whodunit Spooked Halloween edition at Whodunit Spook. As I said earlier at the start of the show, follow them on Twitter, ring the bell, know when they tweet out the next thing, which will be in regards to the cases being due Friday, 7 p.m. Central. Then the Scare Spirit ceremonies on Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Central. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 7 p.m. Central. Something's going down there. So welcome to ring the bell, or just go to the Twitter handle at that time and see what all happens there. But as for the show, you follow the show on Twitter at talking_Packers. Again, there's talking_Packers there. For my personal handle, you're part of Team Complete, and you're welcome to tweet out hashtag Team Complete at Army_Strong_06. You can find me on Instagram at StevieK_06. No, Instagram is StephenK_06, and you can find me also on Snapchat at StevieK_06 there. But thanks to Ross for being here as our guest, fellow Cowboy fan with Becky. And hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. I will be back here with the Ramble later in the week. We'll be doing that Saturday morning for this week. And then depending on how things work out with my co-host and otherwise, to do the shows on Saturday, with Friday night now being the new home for SmackDown, with the premiere happening this Friday night on Fox. So for wrestling fans out there watching this show, you should have watched SmackDown. I really have enjoyed watching it being promoted on all Fox shows during the football games, baseball games, and stuff like that. It actually is blowing my mind of how awesome that is, actually. I know it's a simple thing, but it's still a big thing to me. But yeah, see you guys in the next video, and otherwise, and above all else, as always, take care.